We are recording. Did y'all hear that? That voice, although it happens all the time, throws me for a loop every time I hear it, because to me it sounds so loud. And I'm like, what? But anyway, okay, welcome to Thursday night Restore class. My name's Janine. So happy you are here. I don't know where you are all are watching from, but here in Colorado Springs, it is hot. It is very, very hot. I think it's hot everywhere. So we're going to move slow. We're going to have everything open so that we can cool off because it's hot. Beginning in easy pose. Just sitting. That's it. Just sitting. We can have our legs out in front, a little bit separated. Hands can be in the lap or wherever you would like to put them. Sometimes I like to put them on the floor, on the outside of my legs. And go ahead and close your eyes. And just breathe. Doing nothing else but breath. And we're not doing anything special with the breath. We're not changing it. We're just going to allow it to happen as it wants to. And as we sit, feel all the places where your body touches the mat, the floor. Feel that connection with the earth. Just let your energy and the earth's energy meet. If closing your eyes is not comfortable for you, then a slight gaze down towards the mat is fine. Or staring at one object in the room is also okay. The idea with eyes closed is so that your brain is not looking at everything that's going on, and it can start to relax because it doesn't have to think about what it's seeing. But you get the same effect if you're staring at one thing and one thing only, then that becomes focus. And then before you know it, you don't even realize that's what you're looking at. And that's another way to go into the soul, to go into yourself, so that you can begin to start allowing everything else around you to become still and not even noticed. So notice the sounds that you hear outside of the room that you were in. Maybe you hear a car, the wind. Maybe you hear people talking in the next room, water running, whatever it is that you hear. And if you don't hear anything, that is also an answer, and that's okay. And then bring your awareness to any noise or sound within the room that you were in. And now let those noises and sounds go, and bring awareness to the noise or the sounds that you might hear within yourself and the space that's on your mat or within 2 feet around you. Maybe you don't hear anything, and that's okay. Just be aware of it. You don't need to attach it. You don't need to hold on to it. Just be aware. And now start to become aware of your breath. Are you breathing nice and slow and even? Where is your breath landing when it comes in for the inhale? Does it stop at the chest, the ribs, the belly? Again, there is no wrong answer. Don't change anything. Don't get attached to how you're breathing. Just be aware of it. Just notice it. Be curious as to how that inhale feels, where it lands in the body, and then how the exhale takes place. Is the exhale rushed? Is it slow? Do you take a pause in between the inhale and the exhale? Just because we become aware of something does not mean that we need to change it. Continue to be curious about your breath, letting any sounds that you hear go. Many times when the mind starts to slow down, it gets this bright idea of, ooh, it's time to play. We don't want that. So what is it that we do to keep thoughts and to keep awareness of other things outside from keeping us from finding that balance of relaxation and stillness? For one, we don't get annoyed, aggravated, attached, or angry, disappointed, or judgmental that we are not sitting in the perception of complete stillness. We don't attach to what we hear or what we think or how our mind is going. We become aware, but we do not attach. When you become aware that you are paying attention to thoughts or sounds, then you may release them. So as soon as you have a thought, or if you hear a sound, be aware of it. And then with your exhale, send it back out into the universe. And allow it to come back later after class. It is the attachment to these things, or the need that we feel, the feeling that we need to completely change it, is what keeps us in that space. If we take that moment of, oh, okay, we're going to think of grocery shopping. Not right now. I'm just going to let it go with my exhale. I'm so sorry. And that is when we're able to find a little bit more freedom. Freedom of being able to be still. Freedom from keeping ourselves from constantly being aware and thinking of what we're doing. So when the thoughts come, we can just visualize them going away. Or we can also come back to our breath. Breath is very powerful. And if we just remind ourselves to inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale, we give our mind something to focus on. And when the mind has something to focus on, then the rest of the stuff starts to fall off. And then we come into that sense of stillness and freedom of having to consistently think of what is happening, or what we didn't do, or what we need to do. We're going to find some gentle movement. You don't have to move from where you are. You can keep your eyes closed or a soft gaze, or you can keep your eyes open. We are just going to simply inhale the arms up. We're going to relax the shoulders, and then we're just going to bring the arms back down. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, bring them down. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. Allow the arms to go, the hands to lay wherever is most comfortable. We're going to take some head circles. Just dip the chin down, over to the right, then to the back, to the left, and then back down. Every time the chin comes down, you're taking an inhale. Every time the chin comes up, you take an exhale. You can let them be as slow or as big or as fast as you would like. Switch, go into the opposite direction. And then find some stillness in the center. Take the left hand, put it on the right knee, right hand comes behind. Gentle, tiny twist to the right. And then we're going to switch and go to the left. We're going to come to the right one more time. And then we're going to go to the left one more time. Coming back. Just finding some more stillness, grounding down into the earth. Moving into our first pose, active rest. Just laying on the mat, on your back, soles of the feet on the floor, knees pointing up towards the sky. No props, just like this. Place your hands gently on the belly. And just let the breath come and go as it wishes. Trying to keep the low back on the mat. Allowing the whole back body to rest on the mat. And then allowing the front body to fall into the back body, allowing that to rest as well. And if you aren't already breathe deep down into the belly for your inhale, allowing the belly to rise, moving the fingers up with it. And then when you exhale, letting everything just fall to the spine. Inhale at the belly and the fingers rise. Exhale, let everything fall to the spine. Belly breath. Continue on with your belly breath for at least 5 more breaths. Always remember that restorative yoga is a calming, relaxing yoga. We have no strain, we have no stretch. Everything is done with ease and comfort and loads of props, so that the only sensation you feel is total relaxation. Nothing should be painful. If anything is painful, grab another prop or take away a prop. And if a pose is not working for you or you are done with the class, just come into your Shavasana. And you may lay there for the rest of class. If you haven't already, release your belly breath and just allow the breath to be nice and even. Very slowly, roll to the right side. And then gently push yourself up to a seated position. We're going to come into our first pose, which is going to be a twist. So we're going to come back on the floor, but we need to get some props together first. So pillow, blanket, bolster, or block or an egg will be perfect. Blanket. Let's take our blanket and open it up so it looks kind of like this. And it may not look exactly like that, and that's okay. It's still going to work. Because what we're going to do is we're going to roll this probably right there. See the thickness of that? And we're going to lay it down on the mat. And that roll is going to go right here on our neck when we lay down. Okay? And then we're going to take a pillow or another blanket or even a block or an egg. It doesn't matter. All of these will work. So let's lay down first before we get into our twist. So as you lay down, allow the roll to be under the neck. And you may need to adjust it a little bit for what is comfortable for you. The one thing that you do not want is you don't want your chin pointing back. You want the back of your neck to be nice and long. So this, you may have to play with the depth of it. You may need to unroll it a little bit to have it there. I needed to unroll mine just a tiny little bit. And then Soles, we're gonna bring our legs up to reverse tabletop. So your knees are over your hips. Shins are pointing up towards the ceiling. And we're gonna take our knees and we're just gonna drop them to the left. We're gonna keep our shoulders on the mat. Now, this is where the pillow or the block comes in handy. Maybe you would like the pillow in between the knees, or maybe you would like the pillow or the block underneath the left knee, allowing both the knees to just rest on that. Doesn't matter where you would like it. You can have it, your prop anywhere. And if you prefer not to have a prop, that's also another option. Your hands, right hand will be on the right side body where your ribs are right here. The left hand can rest on the leg, or it can lay out to the left, palm facing up if you choose that. And as we lay here in this left-sided twist, I want you to feel the breath as it comes into the ribs. Can you feel the ribs expand as you breathe in? And can you feel the ribs fall as you exhale? Keep the hand there for at least 5 cycles of breath. You may continue to keep the hand there, but then if it would be more comfortable to just bring the arm down by your side, go right ahead and do that. Can you practice surrender? What does it mean to you to surrender physically into this pose? I see surrender as a gift that we can give ourselves, not as defeat. Surrender into the fullest state of relaxation that you can right now. Very slowly start to bring the knees back to center where we began and allow the feet to come down on the mat and allow the knees to go side to side. Just trying to reset the spine, allowing the very low back to come onto the mat and just finding a little relief from that twist. And then bringing the legs back up into that reverse tabletop. We're going to drop the knees to the right this time. And when we drop the knees to the right, this side may need more props, or it may need less, or it may need the same amount. So whatever props you had on the other side, just reach for them and bring them over on this side and place them where you need them. Remembering in between the knees, under the knee, whatever's going to give you the most support, so that there's no strain, there is no stretch, there is no going to the depths of the pose. It's just a gentle flop onto the props. This time the right arm will come out and the left arm will go on the left ribs for about 5 breaths. Unless it's comfortable, then you can keep the hand there longer. Breathe into those ribs. Feel the ribs rise and fall. Where is the resistance? Where is the resistance? And can you surrender and allow it to go? Can you release that resistance once you become aware of where it is? So coming out of this pose, we're going to roll completely on our right side. Bring the knees up into the chest. Find a little bit of roundness in the low back as you pull the knees into the chest. Not hard, just in that direction. And then taking a deep inhale. Exhale through the mouth side out. And then your next inhale, come up to seated. Now, if you liked the blanket and the blanket under the neck, by all means, let's keep that right there for us, okay? We're going to kind of like build a ramp. So I have a bolster and eye blocks and eye pillows and blankets and things like that, but you may not, and that's okay. So what works well is a pillow. So you may take a pillow, and the idea is we're going to build a ramp. So we want the ramp to be about like that, or maybe it's lower, depending on how many props and blankets and things that you have. So sometimes you can just take the pillow and put a book, because a book would work very nicely because it's sturdy, and then take the bolster and lay it down, or the other pillow that you have and lay it down so that it looks like, back up a little bit so you can see what it looks like. So it looks like this. See, I have the pillow, I have the block, and then I just drop the bolster down like that. That's it. And what we're going to do is we're going to allow our legs to come up on the bolster. So laying down, have the legs on either side of the ramp that you made, have the blanket underneath the neck if you liked that, and then take one leg and the other leg and put it up on the bolster so that your legs are elevated. And you might need to adjust yourself a little bit. It might feel a little wobbly, and that's okay, as long as your legs will stay there without any force, so to speak, without any tension, without any stress, without any stretch, then you're fine. You may need to keep, to play with it a little bit to get it into the space that feels good for you. Or you just may be perfect and you just want me to be quiet so you can go into your rest. And I will. But first I must say that surrender is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. Surrender is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. We are going to stay in this position. The only thing we're going to move is our right foot. So keeping the left leg on the bolster, we're going to take our right foot and put it right above the left knee. And we're just going to let that knee fall open. We're going to remain laying down on our back. Surrender and let the universe catch you. Surrender and let the universe catch you. That right leg, straighten it out and let it come down onto the bolster. And then bring the left ankle above the right knee, just letting the knee open up, keeping the leg on the bolster, back on the floor. Surrender and living in the present are one and the same. Surrender and living in the present are one and the same. Take the left leg and allow that to go nice and straight. And we're going to move into our final posture, Shavasana. But restorative Shavasana is a little bit different than other class Shavasanas. So you have choices. You can stay exactly where you are right now, or you may take your legs off the bolster and just let them be on either side of the ramp that we built. You may roll on your right or your left side, curl up with a pillow underneath your head and a blanket over you. You may lay on your belly. You may fidget from one pose to the next. It's okay. And once you're there, relax the breath. Let the body be heavy. Let it melt into the floor, into the earth, being cradled and supported. Let the mind be still. Let the body be still. Start beginning a body scan, starting at your toes, working your way up through the feet, the legs, all the way up to the crown of the head. And notice if there are any spots that are still sticky or a little tense, or just not feeling good. See if you can breathe into that space and release it. Start touching your thumb to each fingertip. Just bringing little movements into the body. Maybe wiggle the toes. Maybe allow the head go side to side. Deepening the breath into the belly. Exhaling through the mouth. Just sigh it out. On your next inhale, roll to your left side. Take 2 full cycles of breath here. And then on your next inhale, come up to a seated position. Hands in the lap, soft gaze or eyes closed. Inhale the arms up overhead. Have a bend in the elbows. Bring the palms together. As you rub the palms together, bring them down to heart center. And when they're there, take the left hand, place it on the heart, the right hand over the left. And take a deep inhale and find a place of gratitude. Find one thing that you are grateful for that happened today. And allow that gratitude to lay on your heart. And may you take it into your evening and into your sleep this evening. I am grateful that you came to class. I am grateful that I get to share this practice with you. May you find peace and possibility with every breath that you take. Thank you very much. Thank you. I will see you next week.